To the uninitiated eye, this vast, ancient sea of red sand appears entirely devoid of life. A beautiful, barren wasteland stretching across southern Africa. But as the first cool light of dawn pierces the thick morning mist, the truth emerges. This is an ecosystem defined by extremes, a crucible of survival where every sunrise brings a renewed fight for existence. The Kalahari Desert. An ancient sea of red sand, awakening under cold morning mist. Before the sun breaches this unforgiving African wilderness, the night shift retreats. A solitary brown hyena slips into shadows, leaving daylight to others. The heavily armored ground pangolin takes its final steps of the morning. Guided by an ancient sense of smell, it seeks a final meal. As freezing wind sculpts the semi-arid savanna, the masters of the day prepare. Deep within a fortress-like subterranean burrow, the first Meerkat scout cautiously emerges. It is accompanied by the strange, rhythmic clicks of the barking gecko. Soon, the entire Meerkat mob rises, a highly organized unit greeting the sky. They share these plains with giants, dwarfed by the towering gemsbok. Above them, colossal nests of the sociable weavers hum with chaotic life. For meerkats, survival relies on unity, reaffirmed through gentle morning grooming. Across the plains, graceful springbok display their boundless morning vitality. For the tiny foragers, the endless search for sustenance begins immediately. Standing as one, they survey their vast, unforgiving territory. The golden grasses offer an illusion of peace in this interconnected ecosystem. Exposing dark bellies to the sun is a masterful display of thermal regulation. As the warmth slowly penetrates their small bodies, exhaustion briefly takes hold. They rely on towering herbivores to inadvertently flush out insects in the brush. But the sentry is never off duty. An alarm call shatters the quiet. The undisputed desert king, the Kalahari black-maned lion, is on patrol. When an apex predator approaches, their only defense is absolute, terrified stillness. Flattening themselves against the red earth, they attempt to become entirely invisible. The lion's gaze can spot movement from miles away across the dunes. Only when the titan passes do they make a desperate dash for cover. Danger also lurks above. The pale, chanting goshawk waits patiently for a mistake. The massive ostrich shares active foraging grounds, indifferent to tiny mammals below. Equipped with powerful claws, the meerkats excavate the sand with astonishing speed. Their hard work yields a fat grub, a vital burst of early protein. It is consumed instantly. In the desert, a stolen meal is lost forever. By mid-morning, the temperature across cracked riverbeds begins its violent ascent. The formidable camel spider aggressively hunts before the sand becomes too hot. The meerkats dig obsessively, tearing through roots to find hidden prey. All the while, the majestic gemsbok maintains a calm, imposing presence. Their precise bite swiftly disarms venomous scorpions, a brilliant display of survival mechanics. A sweeping shadow brings new terror. The martial eagle circles high above. The sentry sounds a frantic aerial alarm, signaling immediate, deadly peril. The family dives into emergency bolt holes, escaping deadly talons by mere seconds. They wait in suffocating darkness, listening intently for the rush of wings. Only when skies remain clear for minutes does the scout carefully emerge. Nomadic springbok herds continue marching, showcasing the region's surprising biodiversity. The meerkats ignore passing traffic, focused entirely on unearthing their next meal. Young pups engage in vital play, honing reflexes they will soon depend on. A full belly is a small victory in a day of constant struggle. Grooming keeps their fur free of parasites, a necessary chore in the dust. As the sun climbs higher, an oppressive heat haze distorts the horizon. The massive ostrich takes a violent dust bath to effectively shed pests. Rising temperatures force meerkats to dig just to find cooler sand below. Pressing bellies against cool subterranean earth provides a much-needed momentary reprieve. The morning's frantic pace gives way to lethargy in the meager shade. The desert floor hides camouflage masters. The venomous puff adder sinks into sand. An incredibly keen sense of smell alerts the foraging meerkat just in time. Joining forces, the tiny family forms an intimidating wall of unified aggression. Psychological pressure works, forcing the deadly serpent to retreat into the brush. The sentry remains highly agitated, adrenaline coursing through its tiny veins. Nearby, the bat-eared fox relies on sensitive hearing to locate prey underground. As surface heat becomes unbearable, meerkats finally retreat into the dark tunnels. The fox digs furiously, claiming a termite colony before the sun peaks. It is a meticulous harvest, executed while the rest of the desert hides. Massive ears are a vital evolutionary advantage in this quiet, harsh landscape. Midday. A suffocating silence falls over the Kalahari as the heat peaks. To escape baking earth, a solitary leopard finds refuge in acacia canopy. Inside colossal weaver nests, thousands shelter in cool, insulated chambers. The intense heat enforces a temporary midday truce for predator and prey. Conserving every ounce of energy is crucial for felines before evening hunts. In shaded rocky overhangs, the strictly nocturnal aardvark sleeps soundly through punishment. Deep in their trench, meerkats sleep in tightly packed piles stabilizing temperature. The heavy Cory bustard minimizes all movement, standing frozen to prevent overheating. Even in deep sleep, meerkat paws twitch, instinct to dig wired into dreams. For panbirds, maintaining a small patch of shade is life or death. Without surface water, the immense gemsbok must rely on sheer strength to survive. Excavating earth, it uncovers a wild sama melon, a vital hydration source. Smaller herbivores follow the giants closely, desperate for any leftover moisture. Evaporative cooling through heavy panting is necessary, though it drains precious water. Remarkably long eyelashes act as vital screens against relentless blowing red dust. Resting on an elevated termite mound, the lean cheetah waits out scorching hours. Though exhausted, the fastest land animal is always calculating its next move. It watches scattered springbok herds, waiting patiently for the temperature to drop. The slow flick of its tail betrays deep concentration and building anticipation. Every moisture drop is precious. A wet nose ensures sharp sense of smell. Even the notoriously fearless honey badger surrenders to the overpowering midday heat. Waking only briefly to assess its surroundings, it quickly returns to deep slumber. Out on the exposed salt pans, life grinds to an absolute blistering halt. Lifting its wings allows hot wind to pull excess heat from ostrich skin. Small predators cram themselves into the narrowest shadows to survive the day. As the sun descends, an internal circadian rhythm naturally awakens the meerkats. A thorough stretch is required to prepare bodies for the second grueling shift. The sentry carefully reads scents carried on the shifting afternoon breeze. A communal shake clears dust, transforming the lethargic mob into an active unit. And the endless cycle of excavation begins once again. Harsh white light gives way to deep, warm, iconic red tones of Kalahari. The mob disperses in a tactical sweep to consume maximum possible food. Cooling temperatures signal to the barking gecko that it is safe to emerge. Competition within the family peaks. Large catches spark intense, brief disputes. The victor quickly consumes the prize, converting protein into vital evening energy. As afternoon wanes, massive herds of springbok congregate in a spectacular display. Every available morsel of green vegetation is quickly consumed by nomadic grazers. Meerkats use the confusion of moving herds as visual cover from predators. To see over massive animals, the sentry seeks the highest possible vantage point. From its elevated post, vigilance is maintained as the most dangerous hours approach. As the intense heat breaks, the cheetah finally rouses from its long slumber. Every step is meticulously calculated, moving like a ghost through the dry savanna. Unaware of the silent killer nearby, the meerkats continue their obsessive hunt. A sudden wind shift carries the faint, terrifying scent of a large feline. The mob stands as one, relying on collective vision to penetrate deceptive grass. Accelerating to incredible speeds in seconds, the cheetah commits entirely to the chase. Massive herbivores watch indifferently, knowing they are not the target today. Springbok rely on radical agility, attempting to exhaust the predator's limited stamina. But the cheetah strikes with absolute precision, overpowering prey in red dust. Observing the hunt conclude safely in the distance, the sentry finally stands down. With daylight running out, the mob enters a frantic feeding frenzy. Other specialized foragers, like the pangolin, also race against the fading light. The availability of prime foraging daylight dwindles by the minute. Smaller birds retreat first, securing roosts before the night shift arrives. The evening wind carries a chill, a stark reminder of desert extremes. As the sun dips lower, the Kalahari is painted in magnificent, vibrant hues. With bellies finally full, the frantic pace slows to a peaceful, steady march. The entire desert seems to pause, sharing a collective moment of twilight respite. Even on the journey back, opportunistic foraging continues at a relaxed pace. Their heavy eyes paint a true-to-life portrait of grueling desert endurance. As darkness approaches, the true rulers of the Kalahari begin to stir. The black-maned lion lets out an earth-shaking warning that night has come. Hearing the call, meerkats abandon foraging, sprinting for the safety of their burrows. There is absolutely no time for hesitation when apex predators claim fading light. Their incredible spatial memory guides them flawlessly back across the dunes. The family moves as a single organism, a testament to their unbreakable bonds. As diurnal creatures retreat, nocturnal hunters like the elusive Cape fox emerge. Even the largest birds must settle down before total darkness renders them blind. Constant bupa ensure no family member gets lost in rapidly thickening shadows. A terrifying intuition demands one final check to ensure they aren't being followed. Reaching the absolute safety of the home burrow brings palpable relief to everyone. Just as the day began, it ends with communal grooming reaffirming family ties. Towering desert giants stand watch as the last light bleeds from the sky. Desert temperatures plummet rapidly after sunset, demanding immediate shared warmth. Total exhaustion claims the mob, their 14-hour battle for survival complete. As the heat dissipates, the bizarre and elusive aardvark begins its nightly excavation. The armored pangolin reclaims the desert floor, perfectly adapted to the cool dark. Scavengers like the brown hyena now completely dominate the dark desert landscape. An unmatched sense of smell locates sustenance miles away in pitch blackness. Sensing the approach of massive nocturnal predators, The meerkats prepare to disappear entirely. One by one, the family surrenders, seeking absolute safety in the deep tunnels. Descending backwards allows them to keep a watchful eye on the menacing twilight. The sentry remains alone on the surface, performing a brave final watch. Instinct screams to retreat, but duty demands one last scan of the perimeter. Satisfied that the family is safe, the final guardian vanishes into the earth. The surface world is now completely surrendered to the endless darkness. Only mere seconds after the meerkats retreat, a shadowy titan finally arrives. The immense brown hyena patrols exactly where the tiny family stood moments ago. It investigates the fresh scent, separated from prey by feet of earth. Finding prey inaccessible, it vanishes. Survivors of the Kalahari will see another dawn. The mob is safe, swallowed back into the red earth as the Kalahari night begins. But as darkness falls here, halfway across the world in the freezing Taiga, another family is just waking up to a much colder, infinitely more ruthless threat. Let's see what awaits us, right here.